We're back. This is Renovate and Build with Jim and Sandra, powered by Fairtrade Works.
If I had a hammer, I'd a hammer in the morning, I'd a hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd a hammer at danger, I'd a hammer
Good
at warning, I'd a hammer at
Good morning. I'm glad you're not giving me a hammer, Jim, because you don't want to see me with the hammer. So nice to have you join us on the show this morning. I'm Sandra, and I'm not the construction expert.
Good morning, and I'm Jim Perkins. We are joined on Renovate and Build this morning by our friends at Cypress Hardwood. Good morning, Erin and Jeanette.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, you guys. Erin Schreiber is our GM, and Jeanette Martin is a Director of Sales and Marketing. Thanks so much for coming in. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yes.
Busy
Thank
this
you.
Saturday morning?
Very busy. Yes.
Yes.
You guys are like Jim. You're constantly working, really, aren't you?
The phone is on 24/7.
Yeah.
Emails come all the time. Yes, always working.
The only time is when we're sleeping.
Yeah.
When we're not working. Yeah.
And I can vouch for that because I was just at Cypress Hardwood there last week with a client, and yeah, there was lots happening there. So.
Well, I forgot to
see.
check to make sure their cell phones are off before they come on air. So.
Not in the booth.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay,
good. point.
You guys, I always love to start at the very beginning, and I say, how do you fall in love with a career like hardwood flooring?
Erin, you go first.
Well, it was when I was younger. I worked with my dad a bit in the construction field, and loved to do anything when it came to wood. So we loved to do the finishing, the framing, but really fell in love with the finishing of the interiors of all our places.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to be the most gratifying. We got to take, you got to see a big ugly room bare, and then we got to put some beautiful finishes in the trim and in the floors, and really made the room pop. So a lot of gratification in seeing the finished product sort of right before your eyes in a couple of days.
Yeah, it's incredible. Jeanette?
And how I fell into it is not necessarily hardwood, but the love of helping people, and the privilege that I have to go into people's homes. And just to me, I was growing up that the product that you sell is not what it's all about. It's the person connected to it. So to have this opportunity of helping people in their homes, that's how I fell into it. I feel very lucky. It's a privilege to go into someone's home and help their home look beautiful. And every day, I wish that someone looks at their hardwood floor and goes, we made such a great choice.
Yeah,
We love
true.
our hardwood floors.
Now, you guys have been doing it, though, for 18 years. That's a long time to be in love with hardwood flooring. So what's so compelling about hardwood that keeps you going? And like, I can tell you both love it.
Oh.
Love what you do.
And you guys can't see this, but they've actually brought some hardwood
Yes.
samples in with them, and I don't think I've ever seen them without some sort of sample or some sort of wad product in the hand. So
Yeah, so true. It's really about sort of along the same lines as Jeanette was talking about. It's being able to really have a product, have a finished product. And honestly, one of the best parts of our job, and one of the biggest things that I love about it is finishing the floor and the homeowner's smile on their face. So once again, going back to what I said earlier, it's kind of a bare room, but then the client sees what you've done. So maybe it was a really beat up floor that we sanded and refinished. We did a custom stain. So they're seeing this stain that nobody else has in their house, and seeing that individual smile and be so happy, that brings a lot of joy and like a lot of happiness inside of me that we can actually help people that way. And and it gives them something tangible for what they've spent their money on. It's great.
That's going to last for decades and decades and decades.
Yeah, exactly.
And my passion, what keeps me interested, is the technology. That as I had the privilege this past weekend to be in Nova Scotia and see that a home that basically had a tree that they bucked in half and put it down, and the floor was finished, and it was there from 150 years ago, to something that, like one of the samples that unfortunately you can't see, but the technology of the etching that they're putting on hardwood floor now that makes it non-slip, that it makes it so it doesn't scratch, that it's just the technology on where hardwood flooring is going is the passion that I have. It's like, wow, you're able to do that with wood now, and customers are loving it because they expect us to keep up, because they are doing the Google or they're looking through their home and magazines, and it's like, I want this, and it's like, well, we have it. take a look at,
Precisely.
and this is what it is.
Well, and I'm happy to share that our homeowners can, if they watch us on videocast, they can watch
Oh.
all your samples here, guys. So some people are going to be able to see these. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like construction. Anything these days is ever evolving, right? Which just keeps me passionate about it. Is it's just you've got to be on your toes. If you claim to be an expert and you want to service the marketplace as you passionately do, then there's lots of learning.
Absolutely.
It's a lifetime of education. Right?
Yeah, no, that's so true.
Okay, it's a hard job, no pun intended, and a precise job to ensure your clients love their floors and they're obviously extremely practical for their lifestyles. Take us through your client care steps to make sure that your clients not only leave with a floor that they love visually, but it's really suits their needs.
Okay, that starts with me.
Yep.
First of all, we'll either get an inquiry through the website, or we will get a phone call in, and someone will say they need hardwood floors. The kind of standard question we get is, how much does a hardwood floor cost? Well, I often say, well, how much does a car cost? Let's get down to a little bit more of what you need. So what we like to do is have the customer come into our showroom. First of all, the big question that I get asked, and Sandra, having talked to you before, you had mentioned that you had hardwood floor put into your own home, and I'd like to ask you, were you ever asked the question of, what is your lifestyle?
Never.
And that's where you start, is what is your lifestyle? Are you a shoe on, shoe off, entertain, high heels, pets? Are you going to have kids in the future, grandkids? Let's find out what your lifestyle is, and that's going to direct us towards the right floor. So therefore, when you have the right floor, we then go out and do a site assessment, do a measure, take back all the information, what glue, how much wood. The customer loves what they see in the way of our estimate, and we go forward. And then from our client care perspective, I pass it on to Aaron. Aaron is in charge of our installation crews, and make sure that what I have said is going to be the experience, that the experience is taken over and set, and the standard is set. So Aaron, take it over.
Yeah, and then basically that's the first part of it all. But so then we'll make sure that what we've said, it really happens on the job site.
So important.
Yeah.
And you rarely see that.
And you rarely see that. So it's that's a very big passion of mine, is making sure that what I have told people, that's what happens on the job. So we get set up, we've got all the right tools, we make sure that the area that we're doing it in everything is right, moisture readings, everything that can go wrong with your hardwood flooring. We want to make sure that all our I's are dotted and all our T's are crossed, so that the finished product is exactly what we said it was going to be, and it will perform exactly the way we said it will be.
Where were you guys when I needed you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know.
I
I
often
didn't
say
know you. I didn't know you then.
I often say we're strangers until we've met. And we are not anymore.
And then you're lifetime friends.
Absolutely.
That's right, yeah.
All right, we love to dispel myths here on the show. Give us a hardwood myth that every time you keep hearing it repeated over and over
I
again.
guess there's quite a few, but I'd have to say one that kind of comes up not every once in a while, but I would say the biggest myth, I guess, is the solid to engineered floors.
Okay, good.
Solid being, a lot of people feel that it's the superior floor, that engineered is less superior. That engineered kind of has that stigma of it's a laminate,
Right.
right? So, without dragging this out too long, basically what is solid, what is engineered? Solid is basically a solid piece of wood that has been milled with a tongue and a groove. Simple as that, 3/4 thick. Now an engineered floor is actually a veneer or a slice of real solid wood, whether it's 3.5 mil to 7 mil, and you can have whatever size you want basically. That was now put on a plywood substrate or another type of engineered core, which has pickets or slots of smaller pieces perpendicular to the top layer. Then another piece of plywood onto the bottom of that, holds it together, glued. The beauty of the engineered floor is the stability of it and the versatility of where it can be laid. Solid hardwood, you're very limited, and you have a lot of areas where things can go wrong in the sense of humidity and the way it reacts to moisture. So in our climate here, our engineered floors, in my opinion, are far superior to the solid hardwood. That's one big myth that's out there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because I've heard that as well. Like you said, oh, well, if you can't do hardwood, then you do engineered flooring.
Yes.
That's right. Exactly.
That's
So
right.
Good.
And one of the areas that you have to think about is that person that's an environmentalist or cares about,
Yes.
the environment. When you're able to take a solid piece of hardwood and make these veneers, you are taking a lot less of the tree.
Mhm.
You're getting with a solid hardwood floor, it's like one piece. But here you're able to maximize and get a lot more out of it. You're utilizing secondary woods that are out there that are as stable, and it's by far much more superior. It works, and in our environment, like Aaron was saying, it's perfect.
and solid is really such a waste of wood,
Yes.
Right.
right?
Exactly.
So a lot of the stuff that's used in here is basically materials that would be thrown away, yet they work so perfectly in these cores. So less waste.
Absolutely. And I know we touched on this earlier, Jeanette, but give us one of the latest development in hardwood flooring.
Oh, the sample that I brought today, this etched process. What's really interesting about this particular surface is hardwood floor has this, call it a myth, it will dent and scratch very easily. With this etching, they've taken the soft surface off, so that's the part that would have dented. And with this etched surface, it won't show scratches. It's non-slip, it can make a stair tread, and if you're at all worried about going downstairs and that
Yes.
slip factor, it just doesn't slip. So that's the latest kind of technology in innovation.
Makes
Let
it
me
even-
point out, it doesn't show footprints
No.
when kids are walking across with sweaty
Yeah.
feet or footprints. So I
Low
do know that
sheen,
one.
and the other really cool thing, it's 100% Canadian made.
Lovely.
Yes.
I know we're running out of time, but Aaron, just quickly, you install as well. How important is that process to have a good installer, not just a good vendor?
Yeah, that really makes the whole job. It ends with the installer, whether it goes bad or good. So once again, going back, we can talk all day how good we are, but it really ends with our installation crews.
Mhm.
So our installation crews are highly trained, very skilled, very committed to our companies. They're all part of it. And we give a lifetime warranty, which means basically that once again, we are really going to make sure, we have to make sure that everything is done right the first time.
Nice way to wrap it up.
Yeah. Highly educated, passionate, skilled installers, craftsmen,
Yeah.
you can't
We
go.
love wood.
We love
Yeah,
wood. You
we
can't
love wood.
absolutely can't go wrong. Okay, so thank you so much for guys for joining us, Aaron and Jeanette. Very informative as we, you guys recently were in our office and kind of wowed our staff with your knowledge base. So it's great every time we chat, we kind of learn more. So it's just fantastic. And we'll see you guys on the job site. And of course, on our second birthday bash on August 28th, I know you guys will be in our HQ with a
Absolutely.
display there, spreading your knowledge even further to all our kind of loyal fans or followers.
And everyone is invited actually to our birthday bash. We have to point that out. We don't want just have an exclusive invitee list. So come and join Aaron and Jeanette, of course, as well. So thank you guys. We've been speaking with Aaron Shriver and Jeanette Martin from Cypress Hardwood Flooring today. You can check out their company online and all of the events and project pictures that they have at cypresshardwood.com. That's cypresshardwood.com.
Okay, so it's time to switch gears a little bit. The province of BC has had some tough challenges ahead when it comes to labour shortages to accommodate our incredible development growth, especially with projects like those proposed by the LNG are concerned. We're fortunate this morning, as we promised an interview with Buildforce Executive Director Rosemary Sparks, who is coming on the show to discuss the hard facts about what can be done to deal with a serious trade shortage in BC.
And before we get to that, also Product Face Off. That's up in just a moment.
There's still lots more ahead. This is Renovate and Build, powered by Fair Trade Works with Jim and Sandra.